time no see. A lot has been going on, and y'all know I am super inconsistent when it comes to YouTube. But this morning I was just like, I have so many things I want to share, so many new little products I found that are very affordable that I've been loving, a kind of a new way of doing my makeup. I was like, I want to show the world. That's not the words. It's I can show you the world. That's from Aladdin, right? Anyways. All right, we're gonna get started. I have my water with like immunity, little packets that you put in your water. I've got my dandelion chai. Got everything set up. Let's go ahead and do the makeup first, even though I should probably do my edges first, but I'm gonna save that for the end. So, life update. I'm pregnant. Wow. So yeah, I am 14 weeks. I'll be 15 weeks on this week Friday. So that's like the biggest life update. And I'm having a boy. So that's super exciting. If you follow me on my other social media, then you already know all this information. But yeah, I'm pregnant. I have a little bump. I've got a little bump. I'm wearing my bathrobe, so you can't really tell. But yeah, there's that. So that's like the biggest life update. Still a music teacher, still loving my job, still living in Southern California, still married to the same amazing, phenomenal, remarkable man. But let's jump into the makeup, because that's what I'm really, not that I'm not excited about having a baby, but that's my main reason for coming on here. So you guys know I'm about the makeup and stuff. Skincare is done, but we do need to prime. The primer I've been kind of going to and loving is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I've really been enjoying this. I'm also making some rice, so I might have to step away in a few minutes and go unplug it so it won't burn on the bottom in the rice cooker. So I like to just kind of smear it on like this. And I'm targeting the places where I get oily first. I find this primer to be very smoothing, but it also does kind of help with oil control a little bit to a certain point, because I do have oily skin. Wait, my skincare is done. I'm gonna put this on. I think my husband just woke up. Or I should say got out of bed maybe. Or it's my dog making noise. Let's see. It's just my dog. He's not up yet. I have a little bit more time to record this morning because I'm on the high school schedule and they start later than elementary school, and I have a school business day. So I don't have to be in as much of a rush. So yeah, you can see it kind of like gives the skin a soft matte effect. It's also pretty smoothing. It does leave like a little bit of a white cast in some areas, so that's the thing because it's mixed with my skincare, but it doesn't like peel up or get weird. So that's step one. And then the next thing I've been doing in my makeup is starting with concealer. I've been leaning a lot more on concealers, and I have several drugstore concealers I've been loving. I'm going to show you 3. I've been loving the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealers. These are great. These are like my go-tos right now. I've been trying to switch to more affordable makeup since we are expecting our first child. And just in general, like stuff at the drugstore and affordable makeup works just as good a lot of times as high-end products. Out of breath a little bit. We have the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish. Loving these as well. So good. I feel like they are kind of a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. And then, to my surprise, this is the newest one, most recent one I've started using. And you notice I have 2 shades of each, one lighter and one closer to my skin tone. And I'll explain why when we get started. One that I've really been enjoying, I didn't think I would love it as much, is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. I really have been liking this, and it really does not crease. So today, I didn't check the weather. I usually like to check the weather before I start my makeup to kind of know like how hot it's going to be, how humid it's going to be. I think today is supposed to be a drier day, but we are expecting some moisture Wednesday through Friday. El Nino is supposed to be getting started up and coming through. I guess that's like the winter storm. I don't know anything about the weather like that. So for today's video, let's go ahead and use Instant Age Rewind since this is the newest one. So I'm going to take the lighter shade, which I have 147.5, looks like this, and I'm going to go ahead and see if there's anything left before I crank it up, and go ahead and put that under my eyes to brighten, really focusing on the inner corner like that. You can see this is a lot lighter. Put a little bit right here, a little bit in this area, and a little on the chin. And I did not twist it up, so this is already product that was in there. And then we're gonna go in with the darker shade. This is 149. I believe this is the deepest shade they have. And the undertone matches my skin tone, but it's still slightly lighter than my skin. It matches the lightest parts, like right under my eye, but not quite my skin tone. And so I'm using this to conceal kind of the darker places of my face, like where my mouth is dark. I have this strange line I've developed in pregnancy right here, like a dark line that I just put this Instant Age Rewind eraser over. And that's kind of as much concealer of these two I'm gonna do. You guys know I have dark marks and things kind of around the perimeter. That's where I had most of my hyperpigmentation from post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation from acne scarring and stuff, but I'm not gonna use any of these. Concealers. Oh snap, I forgot I washed all my makeup brushes. I washed all my makeup brushes and now I don't have any brushes to use, but please hold while I grab one. All right, we're just gonna use this ColourPop F15. Most of the time I use the same brush to blend in my concealer that I do my foundation. So now that I have this foundation on my face, this is gonna be like the majority of my coverage. So I'm just gonna go in, press it into the skin. I start with the darker areas first. And this really just helps to even out my skin tone. Again, starting with those darker areas first. And then going to under my eye, which I'm trying to decide, do I want to wear eyeshadow today? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna focus on the skin. You're gonna see this really helps to even out my skin a lot. And also like brighten. I feel like this is the concealer first has been a game changer because then I don't need to use much foundation. We are gonna go with a little bit of foundation. I'm gonna show you how I use that. It's really to add color and depth back into my skin since these concealers are lighter than my skin tone. All right, so we just kind of tap that in. We blended it out and you can see my face is already more even, but it's lacking the depth, okay? Of my natural skin tone. A drugstore foundation I've been loving. The CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I recently started going back to this because it's super liquidy and lightweight, so I take it on my finger. I'm using the darkest shade they have. I'm just going to dot it around the perimeter of my face. So I'm taking small little pumps, not even a full pump. I'm going to go around the perimeter of my face where we did not apply concealer. Okay. I'm going to put a dot right here, and then I also like to put a dot on my nose to help blend that area out. And then I am going to put a little bit more just on the lower part of my face because I like that part to be darker. So as you can see, it's darker than my skin tone, but I promise you everything's going to come together. Love this drugstore foundation. I also love Revlon Color Stay. So yes, life is turning out well. You know, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be a mom. I'm still living in Southern California, still married. That's going well. My husband's doing great in medical school. But yeah, I use the same brush and I'm going to blend out the foundation. So yes, thank you so much for your congratulations. Like, honestly, it's all God. I give all glory to the Lord. Now he's awake. I heard the door open. I'm going to go in and just tap this in. Blend it out. He might come in here and open the door. We'll see. Tapping it in, blending it out. Same to y'all. Best wishes to everyone, honestly. Because life be lifing. Alright. So yeah, this is a little bit deeper than my skin tone, but I'm just going to blend it in with everything. I added a little too much foundation because now my whole face is like darker. But that's okay. Alright, so honestly, I'm looking for like, I don't want to say light coverage, but like a solid medium. I feel like my skin is a lot clearer and more even these days where I don't need a full coverage. All right, so as you can see, that foundation like kind of made my face a little bit too dark. So if that happens, I'll just go back in with one of my concealers. Let's use a different one. Let's use e.l.f. And I don't like my under eyes to be super duper bright, so we're gonna use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in Rich Cocoa. So this is the deepest one I think they have, but it's not super dark. So I'm just gonna put a little bit under my eye. And this is almost empty because I've been using my makeup, guys. Like, I've been using up what I have because I haven't been buying nearly as much more. And then we'll go over with a little bit of the lighter shade. So yeah, the whole key to this is using more concealer, less foundation. But if you use a little bit too much foundation, then it changes up like the colors. This isn't even that much brighter, but just adding a little bit of it. This is the shade Rich Chocolate, which is a little bit lighter. Yeah, there we go. Using the same brush to blend everything. And again, focusing on bringing brightness to the center of my face. I use a lot of dabbing, tapping motions because I want the coverage to stay. And I don't want to smear it around to other areas. Why is my eye burning? My eye burning. I probably poked it on me. I get kind of aggressive, as you can tell when I'm doing my makeup, because I'm like just trying to get it done. I'm like, maybe more gentle on this side. All right, so now that my base is done, I feel like it looks very well balanced. It's subtly brightened in the center, very subtle, nice and deep on the outermost parts. Everything is like nice and smooth. You can see it's slightly brighter in this area, which is what I like. Now we can powder the face. Okay, yeah, I've already been going for 12 minutes. This is what takes the longest. So y'all know I really love skin and like base products. That's what I'm about. Okay, yeah, this looks really nice to me. So now we can powder. I'm going to show you how I do that. Let me grab the brush I love. And the powder I've been using. So in here, this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. Yes, it does have talc, but I'm not too leery about that. I also mixed in here Patrick's, what is it called? Wow. Yeah. The One Size powder in Dark Deep, because this is super like pale and light. And this is very brown. Like this, I could put this all over my face, honestly. So I've mixed a little bit of this into this more light powder. So it's a mixture of Wet n Wild and One Size. I know this is not drugstore, but this is one of my favorite setting powders. It's great, especially if you have oily skin. Or live in a hot, humid climate. So I just take it, turn it over. I get some in the cap. Here's what it looks like. Hopefully you can see it's not washed out. You see the color. It's like a beigey color. It's mostly Wet n Wild powder with a little bit of Patrick, or One Size. I keep wanting to say Patrick's powder, his matte collab. That was great too. I loved it. And then I'm going to take this Battington brush. I don't know the number, but it's fluffy, rounded dome brush. I'm going to double check and make sure there's no creases under my eyes. I just lightly tapping over. And then I'm going to take this brush and set. I just washed all my brushes so they're like extra soft. And I just take this brush and I just buff the powder into my under eyes. I also take some over the brow. Just this whole area, the cheekbone going down the side of the nose. I bet you my rice is done. But since my husband is up, I'm sure he looked at it. I'll go check it after I'm done setting my face. Yeah, I've really been loving the way setting with a brush looks. I feel like the skin looks overall more natural. I am prone to drier under eyes, but I find when I do this, it doesn't get dry and crusty throughout the day. Because sometimes that can happen, like if I use a sponge or like a powder puff, like the girlies have been doing lately. I find that only works for me in the summer when I'm going to be super hot, super sweaty, super oily. All right, so let me just show you how smooth. Look how smooth my under eyes look, and then just right here where I've kind of set where my eyebrows are. And you see how it's a little bit brightened, but it matches like my chest area. But the rest of me matches the depth of like my body. I feel like I've really mastered this whole like balancing the lighter and darker parts of my complexion to match the rest of me. It's only took until I was 30 years old, almost 31. Next, I do like to set down the bridge of my nose, but like I said, I washed all my brushes, so let me grab that brush. And I just like to use, this is a medium angled shading brush from Luxie, a 207, but I like that it's slanted and it's kind of narrow. And I just tap it in the same powder I used to set my under eyes, and I just take it like down the bridge of my nose like this. And this helps to kind of highlight my nose and also set this area, and I go all the way down and put a little stripe. This also helps make it look like I have a bridge to my nose. My nose is on the flatter side. Like I have a nose bridge, but my nose is not, it's not like a prominent bridge, you know? But I really like my nose. I'm not trying to change it, okay? I do like to highlight the center of it, which highlighting brings attention to. All right, so now we need to set the rest of my face, and I have some powders that I have been loving. Juvia's Place powders. I have several shades. I have 3 shades, but I'm just going to show you one. So this is the Juvia's Place powder. This is in the shade Kaduna. This is on the warmer side. If I feel like my face is too dull and needs warmth, I'll use this. I don't feel like that today. I feel like I have a perfect balance today. I've also been loving the Maybelline Superstay powder. This has been amazing, but I just find this is dark, so my face is a little bit too light. When I put this on, it kind of deepens it up a little bit. Love this powder. And I think that's it for drugstore powders. I've also been using my One Size powders because I still have some of those. And I've also been using my Fenty. Today, what do I want to use to set? Sometimes I'll just use the translucent powder because I don't want to disturb the color. I feel like the color balance is so good right now. I do want to add a little bit of depth though. So, and I use a flat top powder brush like this. It's more flimsy than the one I use to apply foundation in my concealer. This is more dense. This is way more fluffy. This is a lot more dense. You can see this is a lot bigger as well. This is smaller, more compact. Oh yeah, you can see the bristles are more tightly packed than this one. So this I use to blend out foundation concealer. This is what I use to actually set my face, powder my face. I'm so out of breath. All right, for the sake of the video, let's use the Maybelline Superstay. This is in the shade 370, I believe, deep bronze, okay? This is a very soft powder as well, so a lot comes off on the brush. Look at that. I'm gonna take this in the places that you would like contour or bronze. I'm gonna set those areas, add some depth back into the skin. Love this powder, it's so soft, it's so pretty. And then of course my forehead, my giant, giant forehead. Yeah, it's not too deep though, so that's perfect. Okay. And then I'm gonna take it down here. Go over my lip, which my lip isn't totally covered and concealed today. I can still see a little bit of darkness in my like mustache area. We do have pigmentation there, but it's not bad. And like I said, I look for more of a medium coverage. I'm not trying to be totally like beat face flawless. This is every day I'm a teacher, you know, kind of vibes. But I do like to look, you know, well put together. I was going to take some down the side of my nose, as you can see, wipe off the middle part where we highlighted. And I'm just kind of buffing this powder, whatever's left in the brush, all over the skin to make sure that all areas are set. Now, after I do this, typically what I'll do is I still have my cap with the powder I used to set under my eyes that's very light. I take the same brush, I really tap off the excess, and then I like to go over and buff over top with the translucent powder. And what this does for me is it helps prevent transferring. You see how I'm focusing kind of on the bottom of my face. Like, tap off all the excess, like, and then kind of buff over, and it just blends. But this helps like prevent transfer on like my clothes, or if I hug people and stuff, which I don't really have a super huge issue with, but I notice I get less of it. Like if I do get sweaty or oily today, like my makeup is not really going to be coming off on anybody or anything, because I don't know what I'm wearing yet today. And if you wear something that has like a high neckline, I bend a lot, I'm looking down a lot because I'm helping little kids, you know. I teach elementary school music. And I hate when I have makeup on the collar of my shirt. It's like, you know. So this helps prevent that. And it just helps just lock everything in. All right, the skin, like foundation, concealer, powder is now done. Look how, you can't tell me I don't look smooth. And it also doesn't look too dry or like powdery, I don't think. I think I look beautiful and chocolate and radiant, if I do say so myself. All right, now let's add in all the extra goodies. Like highlight, blush, bronzer, contour. I haven't really been too much into bronzer and contour. I still have the same favorite for that, and it is the Makeup Revolution like matte bronzer or glow bronzer, even though it's matte. Let me show you guys. If I feel like my face is too light and I want to add more dimension or depth to it, that's what I use. Let me grab it. These have lasted me forever. I don't need anything else. This is so good. And I have two colors. I have dark and I have deep. But if I feel like I need to, you know, add some warmth, or I want to add a contour, I use the deeper one than this. This stuff is so good. And I love the way it smells. Oh, it smells like coconutty goodness. So good. When it comes to highlighter, I've just really like any sort of highlight. I don't really have an all-time favorite. Today, let's use, I usually go based on like, am I feeling bronze? Am I feeling gold? Am I feeling more champagne silver? Am I feeling pink highlight? Because I do use pink, and then I also have green and blue highlight. Today I'm thinking more gold, so let's use one of my favorite gold ones. I wore this on my wedding day. This is no longer made, but this is the Desi and Katie Chasing the Sun highlighter, their collaboration with Dose of Colors. I mean, so pretty. This is their deeper one. It's more of a true gold with a little bit of bronze, a little more gold. And I just use my finger usually, and I still love the exclamation point on the nose. I know some people aren't into it. I think it just looks good on me, and my husband loves it. He thinks it's so cute when I highlight the tip of my nose. I think it's cute too. Okay, that looks good. We got the glow. And then, sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use my finger. I like to highlight my brow bone still. I'm just gonna use my finger to do it today. Yes, pretty. And then I prefer to do my blush before I add my highlight. I kind of go back and forth between the two. And I'm gonna show you the blushes I have been loving. First of all, red blush. Red blush has been my jam. I think that is the blush color personally that looks best on me. And then after red is pink, which is kind of interesting because those are more associated with cool tones. What I've learned about my skin and my skin tone is my skin is not overly warm. My skin is more neutral, hint of yellow, olivey. And so once I learned that, I feel like all my colors and like everything just like balances and looks so much better on my complexion because I'm not too red, I'm not too orange, I'm not too warm anymore. I lean more towards things that are neutral, and it has just changed everything. All right, I've got this blended on each brow bone. I'm like, do they match? I feel like this one's always more intense than this one. All right, I've been loving liquid blush, and my favorites have been from Moira. I'm gonna show you. Let me check on my rice. Is it cold up there? Loving the Moira ones. I have two colors, and I only got the matte version because I'm a matte. I just prefer matte over shimmer. I can add shimmer with highlight or like powder, but I'm scared to do liquid and shimmery, liquid and glowy. That's a no for me still, as an oily skin person that lives in Southern California, where it's kind of warm all year round-ish. I have the shade Best Friend, which is like this mauve-y, more neutral, and it looks like it will look crazy on me, but it actually looks really good. And then I also have I Love You, ILY, which is this beautiful red. We're gonna use the red today. I'm like so out of breath. These are only like $6 a piece or $6.50 a piece, and they are so good. And the packaging they come in is really cute. So here's the packaging, the original packaging. I kept it because I was like, oh, this is so cute. So you can see the two shades next to each other. So we're gonna use the red because like I said, I've been loving red blush on me. Let me get a brush. I'm gonna use the same brushes I used for my makeup, like this last rotation of brushes. So I like to use a bigger fluffy brush like this, which things can get a little crazy. You don't need a lot of this. It's very pigmented. You see, it's a true red. I'm just gonna put a dot right here. You can see how like boom, and a dot right here. Okay. Now I'm just gonna spread the dots out. It almost looks orange. Then I'm gonna take the brush and I'm gonna like blend it out. I find that these dry pretty quick. So you gotta like work fast. Like it's already like stuck. I've never put it over powder. Usually I put this on before I powder. So we're gonna see how it works over top of powder. And we got something interesting happening. This side dried like super fast. I find it's not as blendable. Sorry, I'm like scratching the inside of my nose. It's not as blendable over top of powder, but just do it before you powder. But I still love the color. So I'm just gonna add another dot here and another dot there. And the same for this side. Let's see if I can just get the blend to be a little more even. It's so powerful though. Look at that, it's so pigmented. I'm trying to keep it right on like my cheekbone area. And yeah, that is a little bit better, but it's so bright now. Wow, it's so bright, but it's so pretty. I really do love red blush. I've been into blush a lot. But wow, that's so red. Like I look like a clown in some areas. Like it's so vibrant. But it's not as patchy anymore. So this is why I like to wait to do the highlight till after. Alright, so now that I have the desired amount of payoff, this side blended better, I feel, than this side, but that's okay. So I'm gonna show you what I do now. And it like dries down, like dry. Which is one reason I like the matte ones. So after I do that, I'm just gonna go back in with my face brush And I just tap over it. And then I go back to my under eye setting brush. And I'll kind of go over it with this, and that will soften up the edges a lot. With whatever leftover powder's in the brush. I don't add any additional powder. Okay. And then if I feel like it needs more blending, which I feel like this is fine, honestly. I like a lot of blush. This side is more like, there's like a clear stripe right there. This side's better blended. If I feel like I need to blend further, then I'll go over top of it with the powder blush. But honestly, I don't really want to do that because I really like the way this side looks. It's more diffused than this side. But it's okay. I'm like, I have a stripe of blush on this cheek. Yeah. Like, I could like see the legit stripe. But I just started working with liquid blushes like last week, so showing myself some grace. That is good enough for me. So now we can add highlight to the cheek. What I think I'm gonna do is go in with a more radiant blush over top. I don't think I actually want to highlight my cheeks since they already stand out with this red blush. And I'm going to use one of my favorites, you guys already know, my Hourglass at Night. And I use the same brushes. You notice I use a lot of the same brushes because you really ain't got time to be switching. So I'm just gonna go over top with this At Night because it is more radiant and glowy. And it's supposed to be a red tone blush, but it's not as red. It's more of a deeper burgundy-ish kind of red. So by putting that over top, it's gonna give the cheek some highlight, but it also like blends in with the bright blush. Yeah, I like the way that looks. This is what it looks like. You can see it has more of that like champagne-y golden parts in it with a little bit of color. So I do like a glowy cheek. All right, I am happy with where my cheeks are at. I'm happy with the base. This is pretty much all I do for like my face. And then I go on to brows, which are the same. Same technique. Has not changed. Brows, brows, brows. Let me chug some of this dandelion chai. Ain't no love bear. I love you, no love bear. Talking to my dog. You coming in on me? Yeah. Hey, pretty girl. Oh, oh. Oh, did you see her? Yeah, y'all can see her. Oh. Oh. All right, she's coming out of. Oh, she's in the bathroom now. She's sitting with me. You want to do makeup? Yeah. Yeah, pretty girl. All right, my dog is here with me now. Y'all know Nola June. She's still kicking it. 10 years old. I love dandelion chai. It's so good. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. And it's like prebiotic, probiotic, so it's good for like your digestive system, getting things going. While we're here, let me see if I can show you my mop without revealing too much. Let me pull my shorts down. Can you see? Baby boy. It's a small bump. It's not anything crazy yet. But I definitely think you can tell I'm pregnant, but it's not like too wild yet. We're still, you know, growing, developing. But yeah, this is baby Jonah. Okay, he's a boy. I'm gonna be a boy mom. And I have Nola. You're my girl. Okay. She's like staring at me like, what are you saying? All right, on to brows because I'm gonna get distracted. On to the brows. I like to use, this is kind of newer, but y'all know I would use old mascaras as like brow gel. I've been loving the Juvia's Place brow gel. There's no words on this, but it is still going strong and it's just as great as the first day, I guess because I closed the cap really well. So this is in the shade Black Brown. I'm pretty sure the name fell off the bottom. And then I love the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. I prefer the shade Espresso, but sometimes I grab black on accident. I grabbed espresso today. I have very thin brows, as you all can see. As you can see, I've always had thin brows. My mom has thin brows. My dad has thin brows. I've never plucked, shaped, shaven, threaded, waxed, none of that, my brows ever, because there's not anything there. So I go on with the brow wax first. I don't know what my dog is licking off the floor, but I'm slightly concerned. I like to use this first to kind of get all the hairs the same direction and kind of get the general shape going. It gets everything just nice and neat going the same direction. And I'm going for thinner brows today. Sometimes I do fluffier, sometimes I do thinner. I'm gonna go thinner today. Oh, sorry, burped. And had a hiccup at the same time. And yeah, this tints them a little bit darker, but nothing crazy. To where I feel like I don't need a brown pen. I also still have to do my hair. I just washed it yesterday, so this is like a day one. Gonna be a day one wash and go, which means it's gonna look flat and interesting. It gets better as the days go on, but I need to like shape it. I have no idea what's going on under this bonnet because I did go to sleep with it just a little bit damp at the roots. I tried to blow dry it, but I was tired, y'all. Excuse me, I had some phlegm. All right, so now we're done with the brow gel. Now I'm gonna go in with the brow pen and shake it up. Again, this is the NYX Lift and Snatch in the shade Espresso. Got my mirror. And I'm gonna outline the bottom first. All right, we got that side outlined. Okay, so I'm going for a thinner brow today. Kind of more exactly like what I naturally have. Okay, so I kind of have the bottom outlined as a guide, and then I go and I add the hair strokes going up. Start at the front, where there's like virtually no hair, and then I work my way on back to where there's actual hair. Of course, we draw in some extra hairs there. You can see the brow starting to come together. So as you start adding those hairs in, it's like, okay, we can see the vision. And I just flick up, straight up towards the front, and then I start to go a little bit more diagonal as I progress towards the tail of the brow. Nola June. I just realized that my dog, my husband, my son, our son, are all gonna have J's in their name. So we have Nola June, we have Jonathan, that's my husband, and the baby is Jonah. I don't have a J, but it's okay. I have Jesus. Hallelujah. Nola, you in here farting, girl? I don't know if you heard her fart. All right, so now the brows, like, we are getting somewhere. Now I just need to fill in the top and the tail. I'm ahead of schedule for where I want to be. I don't need to be there until 8:30 a.m. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? But then traffic gets worse, so I'm like, And I extend the tail. I like extending the tail quite a bit. I think it just works for my face shape. But outline the top now, that's the last step. And then fill in the tail, extend it. And they are two different shapes, which is okay. That often happens. Oh, not my tummy bubbling audibly. Okay. All right, I think I'm cool with the brows. Sometimes I go back in with brow gel, sometimes I don't, just to like brush them up, but those are the brows. I'm gonna go back in with the brow gel. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then we're almost to the final two steps, which are mascara and then whatever I'm gonna do on my lips. Which I think we might try something new today. Let's try something new. So then I just go back in and re-fluff up my hair so it looks a little bit more believable. All right. Ooh, just got brow gel on my finger. Brows are done. Brows are done. All right, let's go to mascara. I have some new mascara favorites. I'll show you two of them that I don't think I've talked about on camera. One is the Maybelline The Falsies Surreal. This one, I really do like this mascara. Another one is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Plumping Mascara Waterproof with hyaluronic acid. I really like this one if I think I might cry. So I don't think I'll be doing any crying today. So we're just gonna go in with the Maybelline The Falsies Surreal. I was like, what's on the wall? A light switch. See that? I thought that was a bug. But it's a light switch. Now I'm gonna use this for my upper and my lower lashes. Ooh, Chile, your girl is starting to get hot. And I cannot get overheated or else I will feel faint. Let me turn the AC. Nola, you're free now. I typically don't do eyeliner or anything like that. Typically, so I'm not going to do any today. We're just going to go in with mascara on the eyes. Got me having sleep in my eye. Let's get rid of that first. Okay. Oh, now they put it back on my eye. And then if there's any creasing in my fold of my eye. Oh, that feels so much better already. I can feel the AC. I'm just gonna go ahead. That's one layer of mascara. I mean, this mascara is great in my opinion. And I didn't even curl my lashes or anything. Most of the times I don't nowadays. Like, I feel like I have pretty decent lashes. Going in with the second layer. Right off the bat on that one eye, and then going to the top on the other side. This is my more disrespectful eye. My left eyelashes are not as respectful as my right. And they like to act up. It's like another life update. I might need to have surgery while pregnant, but I have to call today to schedule an MRI, and after the MRI, we're gonna make the choice, as in my doctor and I, and decide whether or not we're gonna go forward with surgery, which would hopefully be happening next week, and if not next week, the week after, or if we're just gonna wait. So I'm just praying for God's discernment on like the best choice to make and what to do. I'm grateful my husband and I are on the same page, which my husband and I are leaning towards surgery. I have a large cyst on my left ovary that I never would have probably found out about unless I ended up in the ER with extreme pain. But thanks to being pregnant, you know, I get ultrasounds. And so that's how we found. I've named her Olga. Olga's the cyst name. That's how we found the large cyst, and it's big. So you guys can cry about that. Baby Jonah should be totally fine if I do end up having surgery while pregnant. But it's just, you know, still scary. I've already gone through all the emotions, like the negative emotions and all that, and prayed about it. So that's why I'm like at peace and can talk about it calmly. But now I'm just like, are we doing this or not? Kind of like a game mode. Like, are we doing this or no? But first I have to get ultrasound. I mean, not ultrasound, an MRI. Excuse me, MRI. So I'm gonna call today. They were supposed to call me by Friday last week. Never did. Technically by Thursday last week if we're gonna keep it real. And they never did. So I'm gonna have to call today and get that scheduled ASAP so that we can get this along. You're probably wondering, what is the urgency? We want to do the surgery before I'm 20 weeks, and we actually have a trip planned during the 20 weeks. We're going to be in Mexico. So I kind of need to schedule it earlier so I have a couple weeks to like heal and like, you know, be okay before hopping on a plane to Cancun. And also we need the baby to be lower down in my pelvis, which he's already just started peeking up above like the pubic bone. So he's still very low, but we need him to stay there because that makes the surgery way, 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 way easier. The risk of complications are only 1 to 2%. So like very, very, very low. You know, so that's why I'm like, we need to get this MRI this week. So yeah, pray that they, you know, get me scheduled soon. Like, I just want to know, are we doing this or not? Like, I need that. I just need to know how to progress, you know, move forward in life. Because if I am having surgery, then I'm going to start wearing my mask to school because I don't want to risk getting sick, you know, before getting surgery or anything like that. So I just need to know, like, what's going on? What are we doing? Also applying this on my lower lashes, trying to be careful not to get it on my actual skin. The wand is kind of on the bigger side, but it does pretty well on the lower lashes as well. And you just keep applying to get your desired look. I prefer more on the top and less on the bottom lashes, so I think I'm good here. Even though I feel like the bottom lashes on the outer part are like gone on this side. Let me emphasize it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, that looks better. So yeah, you can pray about possible surgery. Just, you know, getting the MRI, seeing what the doctor thinks. So here's that mascara. I mean, I didn't curl my lashes or anything. I think it looks really good. Again, this is the Maybelline, the Falsies Surreal mascara. This is one of my favorite drugstore ones as of late. My whole mirror just fell. Let me show you a few of my favorite lip products. I'm not going to put my lips on in the video because I want to do my hair first and finish drinking my chai. Also have my water. My immunity water. Which is so good. The packet is a kiwi strawberry packet that you put in there. It's supposed to be for 32 ounces of water. I think it's so good. That's 40 ounces of water and it still tastes so good. It's very light, refreshing. What was I going to talk about? What was I going to do? Oh, show you my favorite lip products. So I've been loving the Naturium lip balms. I have a few different shades, but this is the only one I can find right now, which is clear, which is not exciting. But I put this one on at night and like first thing, you know, when I do my skincare in the morning. But I love the other shades and colors as well. Wait, I do have another one right here, and it's their Phyto Glow lip balm. So this is in the shade, I don't know shade. I don't know. This darker one, I have a clear, and I have a couple more of them. Really been liking that lip balm. And that's Affordable Makeup Drugstore. I've also been loving the NYX Fat Oils. I have 4 colors of those. I'll show you guys my fat oils. 4 different shades. Love those. I've also been loving the CoverGirl Yummy Clean Fresh Yummy glosses. You can see I've been using those. You can see they're below the little cloud. And I've also been really enjoying the Maybelline Lifter glosses. I haven't used these as much because where they're at, they're kind of hidden, but I like these too. And oh, Juvia's Place lip oils. I have several of these all around, but all I have is the blue one out here right now. I've been loving those for lips. And then the Lip Bar, they're matte lip lipsticks. I've been loving those as well. I'm trying to think, do I want to wear one of those today? Because with the way my cheeks are looking, Rich Auntie would be bomb. Because it's coming off a little more pink in this lighting. And Rich Auntie is like a deep but vibrant pink, which is one of my favorite types. Kind of close to this, but deeper and still vibrant. That would look so good as a little lipstick with the cheek. Or I might just keep it simple today and just put on a gloss. But those are some of my favorite affordable drugstore lip products. Actually, I have a lot of the Lip Bar now that I'm looking over here. This is the shade I'm talking about, Rich Auntie. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And my sister's gonna be the Rich Auntie. I have a couple of their glosses. Not the hugest fan of their glosses, but they're okay. I like more pigmented glosses. They're very sheer. And then I have a bunch of their liquid lipsticks. Like, this isn't even like all of them. Of course, I dropped them into the sink. But yeah, here's a few. And I have one more. I have this one too. So I really like the Lip Bar. That formula, it's so lightweight, but full coverage, transfer proof. It doesn't get weird on your lips. It dries down completely. It's so comfortable, lasts all day. Lightweight liquid lipstick, full coverage. That's what I'm talking about. You can eat and you can reapply it and it doesn't get weird like on the inside of your mouth. So I really like that formula. But anyways, I've been talking long enough. You know the major life updates. You got to see kind of my new-ish technique of using more concealer, less foundation. Still use a lot of powder because I'm an oily girl and it just makes everything look so smooth, but my skin doesn't look dull or dry, you know, because I've been using brushes rather than like sponge or powder puff. My skin still looks like skin. Like I look good. I didn't spray my face or anything. It's pretty much the finished look minus the lips. Pray for MRI, pray for possible surgery, pray for just healthy baby, healthy mommy. The last, you know, few weeks of school before, well, this is the last week before Thanksgiving break, and then, you know, a couple of weeks, 3-ish weeks before winter break, and then that we can come back refreshed in 2024 as teachers and educators and staff that work with children. Pray for all those who are less fortunate. I just hope everybody has good holidays. I know this is also like a sad time, you know, for everybody who's lost people. There's just so much going on. So just pray for all the things. God knows it all, you know. Even what we cannot put into words, he knows. So yeah, I'm out of breath and I'm tired. And now it's 7 and I want to leave by 7:30. So I'm gonna be there so early. Oh my goodness. It's only 30 minutes away, if that. I'm just gonna be there early because traffic is gonna start to get kind of bad now. Now that's 7 and the traffic is already like meh. So my goal is to leave by 7:30. Yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching. It was random and chaotic, but that's okay. You can find the beauty in chaos. Have a magnificent Monday. Goodbye.